So what do we make of all the interviews Sala and Douglas are given at the Combine? Well, what's happening, Jet Nation? This is GreenBean, and today I stand in the middle of an supposed energy vortex. This is all Sedona back there. Sedona, Arizona. If you want my camper, I'm staying right in the that's me right here. That's where I stay. That's an internetless bubble. There's nothing going on down there, so that's why I'm up here on the top of this little mountain. I think it's called Mingus Mountain. So here we go. Let's take a walk, shall we? We have much to discuss. So, as you know, this is Combine Week, and we are talking about all the different players that we're going to get to see work out for our pleasure, so we can see what their measurables are. How much do they weigh? How fast are they really? How high can they jump? How many bench press reps can they put up? And so forth. But before we get into all the workouts, there is an opportunity to hear our coaches and GMs speak about certain things that apply to the draft in most instances. So I got to be careful here. I'm actually on quite the cliff, so bear with me. So Joe Douglas and Robert Sala had they just gave their interviews, and a couple interesting things were stated. A lot of Jets fans are really on the side that we should do everything we can to help Zach Wilson in this draft, right? And we'll leave free agency to the side. But speaking particularly of the young players in the Combine and the draft, the Jets fans are really wanting to see Robert Sala and Joe Douglas put together a collection of players that help Zach Wilson. And I think most of us want to see that happen, right? But they said something interesting, which I think might surprise some people. So Robert Sala went to great lengths to talk about how the defense can help Zach Wilson. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that if you're getting into a shootout, and this is the exact wording that Robert Sala used. This is a harder trail than I thought, guys. If you look at the exact wording Sala used, it was, we don't want to get into shootouts. If you're giving up 30 points a game, which is what the Jets averaged last year, I think it's 29.6 points per game, that's not going to be a good position for a young quarterback to be in. So he's talking about how the defense can help the offense. Well, I mean, it's clear that you need both sides of the ball, right? We know that. But he went to really extremes, talking about the defensive line, obviously the points, and putting the quarterback in better positions to win, as opposed to playing from behind. Now, Joe Douglas went on the same tip and talked about the difference between playing with a lead versus playing from a deficit. Now, this leads us to a side of the draft that might anger some Jets fans, which is, it sounds like the Jets are buying into this idea that the creme de la creme of this particular class happens to be on defense. Now, a lot of people like guys like Linderbaum or Icky, Aquanu. We like wide receivers like Burks or Wilson or whoever. And we want to see some of those guys grabbed. But a lot of the top 10s and top 20s by all the evaluators and talent scouts and all these guys, they're talking about an average of 7 out of the 10 top 10 guys being on defense. So if you have 2 top 10 picks and 7 out of 10 are on defense, that would lead you to believe that you're more likely to grab a premier player from that side of the ball than you are on offense. Now, of course, 70% would leave 3 guys for the offensive side of the ball, but they happen to be at offensive tackle. 2 of the 3 are out at offensive tackle. Depending on how you look at it, we have Evan Neal, Aquanu, and even Cross are in that conversation. You see Linderbaum from time to time, and then the wide receivers, Burks, Wilson, London, some of those guys. So if the Jets are buying into the idea that going defense is going to help Zach Wilson and that the top end draft talent happens to be on defense, we could have to brace ourselves for maybe seeing the Jets go defensive line and linebacker. I know, a lot of guys don't even like to talk about drafting another safety in the first. As you guys know, probably by now, I'm a big fan of taking Kyle Hamilton. Positional value be damned. That's my side of it. So what if the Jets go ahead and choose, just for an example, Kyle Hamilton at 4 and Nakobe Dean at 10, or let's say Thibodeau at 4 and Devin Lloyd at 10, something like that. How's that going to make us feel? How does that help Zach Wilson? Well, here's a silver lining for you, and this is something I've got into quite a few discussions with you guys about this stuff. If you feel that the offensive talent drop off from say 10 to 35 is not as severe as say edge rusher or safety or your cornerback even, then taking a wide receiver, or center or tackle in the second at 35 or 38 would make more sense if you feel like the drop-off is more significant at edge, cornerback, and so forth. So that sounds like how the Jets might be leaning. Again, they went to great lengths to really describe how the defense helps the offense, the young quarterback in particular, and even talking about some of the actual talent that's in the draft. So what are we gonna think? Now, the other side of this is that the Jets, Joe Douglas is not exactly a green or wet behind the ear here. There's another side to this called smokescreen. So what do they want people to think? Why would they say this? Why is Joe Douglas and Robert Sala, why are they going out there? Okay, this is dangerous. Why are they going out there and telling people in pretty clear manner that they're thinking defense? I mean, it was all over them. They're thinking defense. Is it just obvious? Is it something that everybody knows? Or do they want people to think a certain way? So what is it? Why would the Jets want people to think that they're thinking safety or edge up top? Why would they want that? And that's what we have to kind of disseminate here. That's what we have to talk about. What is it that Joe Douglas is trying to accomplish? I doubt highly that he's going to go out there and say, oh yeah, we love Thibodeau and that's going to be our guy. It serves no purpose to do so. So why would he do that? There's got to be another side to this. Now that could mean he wants people to think he's making people to think stuff, and he doesn't even, he doesn't care that, that's another side to it. So that's what we have to really discuss. And I'd like to hear your comments. What did you think about what Robert Sala and Joe Douglas said in their interviews? What are you looking for in this combine? One thing I can tell you about the combine is, as great as it is, one thing you got to be careful of is guys that were not on your board, were not in consideration, having a great combine, and then all of a sudden you see them in the top 3 or something. You got to be leery of that, okay? Now, if they're on your board at 5 and the combine pushes them to 3, great. That's one thing. But be careful of falling in love with guys and their athletic measurables when their play on the field didn't warrant consideration. So that's just a little word of advice from your heavy panting friend, GreenBean, the Jet fan here in Arizona. Not a bad gig, my friends. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm dying to hear what you think they mean in these little pressers that they gave at the combine. What do you think's going on? Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And for all your Jets needs, jetnation.com, best place in the world to be. With that all said, have a great day, everybody, and go Jets.